Aujourd'hui, je vais parler de just like working from home or unlimited PTO, this relatively new labor practice that is now being pushed in the lovely, lovely media of flex time is mostly a lie that will do absolutely nothing for anyone's careers. Okay. Hey, XenPuck here. Another day just making up my own stories because I can afford the flexibility. And that's what I really want to address, this relatively new term called flex time. I'll link an article below that was actually very early pandemic period, right? Already talking about the benefits and costs of flex time. Okay. And frankly, as a whole, as the whole return to the office timeline keep moving due to the various variants of COVID, I see more and more articles in the mainstream media pushing this narrative that employers don't really know what employees really care about, and that is apparently flex time. Apparently moving up even past getting more money or promotions and such. So I'm sorry, I'm here to burst your bubbles from what I'd consider some easy and sound what I'd consider some easy and sound arguments. But first, gotta define the term, right? Flex time at its core, essentially, basically lets employees get their work done during any hour. In the 2019 articles I linked, because it was actually relatively safe in saying that most companies want some level of core hours, quote unquote, in the office, right? But that was before the pandemic dragged on for more than a year, now going on 2, right? These days when I hear flex time, it really sounds more like employees asking for, essentially, let me work whenever I feel like. After all, as long as I get the work you define done, what does the company care, right? We're going to go down the rabbit hole with this very new agey definition down to its logical conclusion. I'm going to call it really, this is total flex time, right? Oh, and if you enjoy some of my rants, please comment, like, subscribe, and share so YouTube doesn't get mad at me or whatever. Okay, so first argument, super simple. Out of sight, out of mind, okay? This is simple and time-tested. Just like how remote work will not be a real thing, it is for the same reason. People move up in the world by building rapport with their bosses and peers and developing long-lasting mentor-mentee relationships at work, physically, okay? This is irrespective of what field of work generally that you're in, right? So if you simply want to make your own hours, meaning presumably more obscure hours than most people, aka not a 9 to 5, then you don't get as many opportunities to build that rapport, right? What do I mean by building rapport? Let's be clear, there's some level of butt kissing involved here, right? That's just reality. Both people who are always remote or people who want to work whenever they want give up on this crucial element of work, right? Let's say there's 2 workers, A and B, that they do about the same level of competency, right? But A is always around when the boss is around, and B is never to be found except via email. Possibly the next day, right, due to the hour differences. Who would you pick to promote, right? The guy who you know much better or the one that does good work but you barely really think about? Yeah, there's no competition here, right? Out of sight, out of mind. That's just how us dumb humans have evolved to work, unfortunately, right? Point number 2. Frankly, a company is not just a collection of people doing whatever they want, whenever they want, right? The whatever they want is simple, right? That's usually in your job description, right? What they want you to do. But the however they want bit is the company culture, right? And the culture is mostly only possible when people spend time together. That's the quote-unquote company culture, right? Hey, I'm not saying everybody has to drink that company Kool-Aid, right? There are exceptions after all. Some smaller companies can just say, hey, our company culture is really letting people do things however they want, thus letting total flex time into play. That's possible, but unlikely to permeate through any company that's remotely even medium-sized or above, right? I'm not saying this is a good thing, but it just won't happen for the simple reason that more mature companies, and therefore larger companies, just like older people, they simply do not change overnight. Oh wait, let me rephrase. Most of these companies do not change ever, right? It is incredibly difficult to change course once you've already had success for years, if not decades, doing things one way. And then suddenly have younger employees now ask for a totally different way of working. Never gonna happen at any company that has built up any level of prestige whatsoever, okay? Not overnight. Maybe, if there's some extenuating circumstances, maybe over the course of a decade, but most people need employment. Well, at least this year, if not right now, today, right? And now, finally, point number 3. I mean, technically, when I think about it, could total flex time work? Sure. If everyone was already used to it, it could, right? Because then everybody would be on the same playing field. But again, similar to my rant about remote work in the past, the reality is that when some people can pick to work in the office or work the same hours as those that they want to mentor them, those people will have a clear advantage over the rest who value flexibility in terms of time at work, right? But think about why most people are at work to begin with, right? It's for the money, right? If you get no promotions, you get no more money, and you're forever stuck at the job that you currently have, right? I think it's telling that the article I linked primarily is looking to talk about women who want flex time due to ladies' general propensity to provide the majority of childcare, right? But it's for that same reason, actually, that a mom usually the fact that moms usually prioritize parental concerns over work that leads to ladies not being paid as much for the same number of working years, right? To me, this is just people stretching themselves too wide. Can you do both a job and have time to parent? Yes, sure. Those options do exist somewhere, right? But the result is that neither of these things get done super well. You're gonna fall behind your peers in pay at work in this day and age. No one's actually really off, even when you're flex timing it. Tell me that I'm wrong, right? Your boss has never called you on your currently defined hours, like off those hours? Really? Look, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I don't think total flex time is a good idea. I'm just pointing out that in our social constructs, how unlikely it is that anyone who's an employee will actually get it. The ironic thing is, of course, I want everyone to actually have perfect level of flex time, right? Because that's what I have, and I did it. See, the thing is, I did it by working a ton and making some lucky company changes. And really only focusing on work for a while, right? We all work in a capitalist society, right? I hope you believe in it in principle. Remember that capitalism rewards specialization, right? If you want to be an employee, then be the best one you can be at that. Build those relationships and concentrate on that. And hey, if you're lucky, you can exit the workforce early, like me, right? And then you can set your schedule however you like. Take 2 naps a day like I do, or work on whatever you want, whenever you want. Be the master of your own universe. But I can tell you that with 99% certainty, your company will never ever do that for you. Cheers, I'll approach it.